I'm so glad that you guys liked the video. Okay, that's not true. Okay, I wanted to address some of the things people have been saying in the comment section of my last The Tridentiest Mass video. A lot of people did not appreciate it or simply did not get it. I understand those who didn't appreciate it. I realize if you guys don't get some of my humor, but I wanted to address some of the things that simply weren't true. The alternative titles of this video that I intended to have were further comments on the Tridentiest Mass video, which is boring, and the Tridentiest Mass video, the non-apology. However, this last title would be, kind of not true, because it would imply that I wanted to do some things that people were accusing me of, which I didn't. Okay, how did I get the idea to make this video? Well, when people compare the traditional Latin Mass and Novus Ordo Mass, one of the things they list is usually like in the Tridentine Mass, sign of the cross is made 52 times, and in the Novus Ordo Mass, it's only made, for example, 12 times. And I found it, I had this funny idea, well, what if there was an older Mass that had even more signs of the cross, and that the Tridentine Mass is simply the watered down version of that Mass? And I found that idea so funny in my head that I simply, that I found a list of all the changes in the new Mass, and then I used those arguments against the Tridentine Mass itself, and that is how the Tridentiest Mass was born. So, for example, if vernacular is used in the Novus Ordo Mass and Latin is used in the traditional Latin Mass, then there is a Mass with even older English, and even older Latin, for example. And that is the literally whole idea behind the video. Nothing more, nothing less. I didn't mock. Some people may think so, and okay, fine, I can't change your mind. I hope I do, but I can't force the change your mind. It was simply a satire of nothing. A lot of people were, also said that I'm mocking trad Catholics. Maybe I did with the rosary part, but the rest, not really. It was simply turning the arguments for Tridentine Mass against it. That's the crux of the issue. Even with the rosary, it was, slight jab at the luminous mysteries, their introduction, people's opposition to it, and so on. So there's that. I would have made the identical video about the Orthodox Church, but because we don't have the same introduction of a new Mass that was made in some cabinet, I can't do it, of course. So you guys got the worst part of it. That's one. Somebody said in the comment section that the Latin Mass is the most beautiful thing on earth. Well, okay, it is quite beautiful. It is very reverent, but as an Orthodox, I don't agree. Not because I'm Orthodox. I just find that the way people serve it very stuffy and very robot-like. If Novus Ordo is all curves, then the Tridentine Mass is all straight lines. When I watch videos of the traditional Latin Mass, I don't feel like it's served by humans. I feel like it's served by robots, and I don't think that's a good thing. And it will lead to another reaction to it if it spreads further. It is very stuffy. I would say boring, but. Again, that would imply that I think that a liturgy's ability to entertain is the most important part of the liturgy, whereas it is not at all an important part of the liturgy. The important part of the liturgy is its ability to inspire reverence, and that is what traditional Latin Mass does. But also, I I also don't feel like it inspires the spirit of community. And in fact, I believe firmly that it is very much opposed to it. Because as long as that acolyte is there, everyone else is redundant. The tragedy of the fact that you can serve that mass alone is also very problematic. I even saw these videos and photos, and you guys probably did as well, of like in these monasteries they would have, I don't know how to call it else, but stalls where there's an altar in every stall, and in every stall there's a priest with an acolyte, and they're serving, and like 10 simultaneous masses are served. That is a liturgical abuse par excellence. It's the same mass, serve one mass. It is the most horrific application of mathematics in the liturgy. Like, if one mass brings X grace, then 50 masses brings X times 50 grace. Come on. I mean, I was so shocked to see that such a thing exists. I mean, it was beyond belief. Literally nothing short of a priestess in the liturgy is not as horrible abuse as that. And I've even seen Pope Benedict call it the glory of the Catholic Church. To hell with such glory. I mean, I missed the part in the Gospels where Christ serves the Last Supper, and all of the other apostles are having their own Last Suppers in the same room. Serve one mass. Okay, I know that the priests aren't really happy with the co-celebration. You know, them pointing at the host and the chalice. It's really underwhelming for a priest to do that, but maybe apostles thought that it is underwhelming that they're just sitting there at the Last Supper. You know. There will be a sequel to the Tridentiest Mass, simply because I remembered that I omitted some things, and I found it, I found the video very funny to make, and I'll do it again. Again, it's not because of the views, it's not because I mock it. Again, I would make the same thing with the Orthodox liturgy, but we didn't have that innovation. And further comment that would label this as a non-apology. Vatican II is what you get when you place the power in the church, all the power in the church, in the hands of a one man. Vatican II is the most natural result of papal supremacy. And you simply have to roll with it and hope that nothing worse comes next, which completely might. I wonder what would the fathers of the Vatican I say if they knew what would happen in a century or so later. That's pretty much it. I apologize if I sound a bit salty. But, you know, I hate when I'm accused of mocking something. Especially when it's something like God, the Mother of God, somebody's liturgy. By the way, when I was in Lloret del Mar, which is a resort in Spain, they have this church and a beautiful side chapel to it. I attended 3 masses there. One was 2 were daily masses in the beautiful side chapel, and one was the Sunday mass at the main chapel, at the main church. The Novus Ordo mass in the side chapel were extremely beautiful, one of the most reverent things I have ever seen. While the Sunday service in the main church wasn't. I don't want masses to begin with Buenos dias, like not something I came in for, you know. There was something else I wanted to mention, but I forgot it, and ironically, these things I always remember after I record the video, and I usually don't have time to re-record. But yeah, that is pretty much it. If you're offended, again, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. But I also firmly believe that I didn't offend, and that a sequel is coming. Just a little spoiler from the sequel, like for example in the Tridentiest Mass, the last Gospel is read, where the introduction to the Gospel of John is read after the Mass. Well, in the Tridentiest Mass, the entire Gospel of John is read, and that is why it's called the last Gospel, not last part of the Gospel, not last section of a Gospel, and so on. That's pretty much it. Bye!